question is, of course, what is meditation? For me, meditation is not something you do with crossed legs, sitting in a cave in the Himalayas. That's the exaggeration form of it, of course. But ultimately, it is interesting to me that mindfulness and some other terms have been used and have been growing. There's a growing awareness. A lot of people are doing mindfulness because essentially it balances their nervous system. But I agree, you have to be in a certain, let's say in a normal distribution, you have to be within certain limits in order to do that. If you have heavy trauma or heavy anxiety, you have to take care of that first.
Well, one of Marsha Linehan wrote the therapy, right, to dialectical behavior therapy, and she was the idea of that therapy was for her was to bring in everything that had ever been helpful, right? So one of the things that had been helpful to her was Zen practice, right?
Yeah.
So she actually she used a lot of the words of Thich Nhat Hanh, didn't use Buddhism, and put mindfulness into a major treatment of in psychotherapy of a condition that is very difficult for anybody to treat if they, which is really high emotional arousal. It's not something other than that. So, but if you have high emotional arousal, people can find it very difficult. They don't even know they have a body, right? I mean, people
they're out of touch with their body.
Out of touch is a domestic way of talking about it. It's like they don't have a body. One of my patients said, "My body is a mere appendage," right? Mm-hmm. And we now are getting rapidly, because of primarily Ruth Lanius's work, we're getting a view of what these brains look like, right? And the fact that there's not a default mode network functioning, the salience network is wired into fear. All of the primary networks of the brain are distorted by this, onset of terror. And that is a brainstem. It's starting in the brainstem. It's not starting in the amygdala, but that's only been known in the last few years, right?
Yeah.
So we're at a very interesting period. But I think in terms of that question about whether this is akin to mindfulness, I think this is the condition for mindfulness, that your nervous system is working for you enough that you can actually pay attention to the way that you put your feet, or to the way you eat, or any number of other things that would lead to better life outcomes.